Well, good afternoon, everyone. Rod back with you again. I thought I would do a video, just kind of what's going on video and an idea I had. Um, I did a video recently of my 16 gauge I recently acquired from Intersurplus in Quebec. Was very happy with my purchase. Great gun. I did get out to try a couple of rounds for function, and the gun functioned flawlessly, so pretty happy with that. Didn't get a chance to do an actual in-depth shooting video of sorts because of the weather we've been having. Lots and lots of rain, lots of wind, and it's not good for making videos. So I'm going to wait for the weather to clear up a little bit. Maybe get a day where it's not windy or raining. Cloudy, I don't mind, but going out in the rain to make a video or going out in the snow or whatever we're going to get, this just makes for miserable videos, and it's not very good to do. Anyway, so I recently also purchased another shotgun from Intersurplus, but it's been contained within the Canada Post strike that's going on up here. And for those who don't know about that, they're maybe from another part of the world that's watching or from another country, whatnot. Our postal service for Canada Post is on strike due to a labor dispute, and any and all parcels and packages that we had uh, that are in transit or were in transit are stopped wherever the truck stopped when the strike was called. They walked off the job, and I've got a English side-by-side 12 gauge sitting somewheres in a truck or a building, and hopefully soon I'll get it and it won't be damaged, or I hope it's not lost. Spoke to the folks at Intersurplus, and they're quite concerned over the shipments that went out during that time period, and they were kind of caught off guard themselves, not knowing if this was a partial strike or a rotating strike, or if there would be any continuation of parcel delivery. Um, but turns out my gun is now sitting somewhere idly, and I don't know where it's at. So that's the story on that. So when I do, or if I do receive it, I will showcase it, show it to you. And I think it's a great shotgun for the money. Any English shotgun is usually made of good quality, and it's not something that's often seen. And you buy them, and with the Intersurplus, what I find is that they get a lot of one-offs. Like they'll get like that one name, that one gun that comes in. So when you buy it, there's no more. So it's a piece to have that's unique to yourself, that that not your average Joe or neighbor or anybody else has one. So you have something that's kind of unique there. So getting back to the other part of this video, what I was thinking was, you know, a couple of years back they had shooting challenges like during COVID times with the Mosin minutes and all this stuff, and Mauser shooting, like group shooting, and testing certain ammo and shooting for group. And if you had the same gun, the same ammo, you try and shoot a group, see if you did any better or any worse. But I thought of something for shot shells, that let's say you have a single shot or a side by side or an over and under shotgun, something vintage. That's what my channel, that's what I pertain myself to, is a lot of vintage firearms, particularly side by sides. I'm not too much into the single shots, though I do own a couple, but I will have more side by sides than anything. So what I was thinking was that if you own a side by side shotgun, or a single shot, and you have some vintage ammunition kicking around that's, you might only have two or three loose rounds of it, or maybe you got a couple of, uh, that are in poor, like maybe condition, that eventually you're not going to be able to shoot them, or their condition is kind of degrading, but you could probably get a shot, and shoot at a target with them or whatnot. So what I was thinking was this. So everybody and their dog has a shot shell or shotgun, like I said. And you went out a couple of years ago and you bought some Federal game loads for your 16 gauge. Typical uh, Canadian Tire, Walmart. Well, not Walmart Canada here anymore, but gun shops would carry these. Canadian Tire carry these. Whatever. These are current production 16 gauge 1 ounce game loads. Now I also have some 1 ounce number 4 loads here. Some old full crimp Imperial paper Dominion 16 gauge rounds. And as you can see, the brass on those on the bottom here is starting to tarnish up a bit. And, showing its age. And, they're still good rounds. They will go off. The primers on these are nice and clean. And they'll go boom, boom. I've seen some pretty dirty ones still go boom, boom, So, what I was thinking was this. Double barrel, 2 shots, 1 on each choke. 2 targets at a set distance, let's say 20 yards. Put up 2 pieces of Bristol board, and you fire with 1 barrel at one and 1 barrel at the other with the old ammo. Then take your modern day ammo, same load, same weight, and it's probably going to be close to the same velocities. These, I think, on the box are like 1165 feet per second. They're a pretty mild load, so they'd be still good to shoot an old vintage gun, lead shot, and maybe fire 2 of these at the same distance, at the same targets from the same gun, and see what makes a better pattern, the older ammo or the newer ammo. Now, another thing I thought of was, if you happen to have some old ammo kicking around that's loaded with fiber wads. Now, for those who don't know what fiber wads are, it's these things. They're like compressed fibrous discs, as people would call them, and they've got some squash to them. These are cushioned. And you've got these here card wads that you would use over your powder and over your shot. You can buy them various gauges, various thicknesses. And you can load new ammo, like today, in the old way, which is what you get when I do these here. This is a 16 gauge shell that I loaded just the other day here. And I loaded this with 2F Schutzen black powder and fiber wads in a brand new looking Remington hull here. But it's rolled crimp. So, you can still load the ammo in the old sets with the fiber wads, if you have the gear. So, another thing we could do is maybe test fiber wad against plastic shot wads. These are a 1 ounce smokeless load. These are a 1 ounce smokeless load. This is fiber wads. This is plastic shot cup. And you could see at a distance from the same barrel. If it's a single shot, obviously you're shooting from the same barrel. But for side by side, if you shoot the full choke barrel, we'll shoot the 2 shells in the full choke barrel to be fair to the ammo. So it's being fired through the same choke, at the same distance, at the same size target, with the same point of aim taken. And let's see what outshoots what. So I will say this: if anybody has an old single shot, an old side-by-side, or an old over and under, or something of whatnot, and heck, if you got an old bolt action shotgun kicking around with a fixed full choke or a fixed barrel on it, or one of the selecty choke things, why not? We can use that too. You're doing a comparison. So you're comparing the 2 types of ammo in the same firearm. And let's see what your results are. Does your old ammo outshoot your new stuff, or does your new stuff outshoot your old stuff? I'll leave that with you. And like I said, you can use anything from your old Henry Piper Damascus modified Diana grade hammer gun, or your Army and Navy 3rd best quality English upland gun with Damascus barrels, or your French shotgun, 16 gauge side by side, or maybe your Swedish shotgun, right here. Maybe you got a Husqvarna 610 like I do, or a Model 20 hammer gun. Whatever you decide to use, that's what we do. Old versus new, same distance, same barrel. Let's see if the old stuff can keep up with the new stuff, or if the new stuff has a hard old time keeping up with the old stuff. And let's see your results. Comment below if you have any ideas or thoughts. I entertain all ideas. Hope everybody has a good afternoon and the rest of your day. And thanks for tuning in. And as always, like and subscribe. And everybody take care of yourselves. See you later.